Hello and welcome to episode 67 of my playthrough of Mass Effect Legendary Edition, where I will not be using Charm or Intimidate dialogue options and will not be using Paragon or Renegade interrupts. So, when I resumed the game, Trainer said that I have a new message here, but I don't think I... Oh. I guess I haven't... Okay. Liara Tassoni, XO, Facility Specialist. From Liara Tassoni. Shepard. The food hasn't improved much since the days of the SR-1, has it? Since we left Earth without a proper chef, I used my contacts to source a couple of candidates. It still won't be anything like what I had on Ilium, but something is better than nothing. Their details are in the crew manifest. Liara. Okay, there we go. Now I can make sure my fish, when I have fish, are fed. Alright, so they both give fish fed, so we're going to go with the barman, and it doesn't really matter. You can go with the sushi chef. Okay. Oh, I was going to read from the codex. Let's read from the codex real quick.
In recent years, the pro-human syndicate known as Cerberus has seen its influence grow galaxy-wide. The largely untraceable organization now includes private intelligence agencies, biotics laboratories, research facilities, and the lucrative corporations that provide a front for it all. Cerberus's charismatic leader, known only as the Elusive Man, drives the organization's philosophy and interests. The level of secrecy he maintains puts professional intelligence agencies to shame. As Cerberus grows, so too does public distrust of the organization. Some commentators have remarked that Cerberus is not so much pro-human as it is anti-alien. Others question the blind loyalty of its employees. The Elusive Man is a human loyalist focused on advancing the interests of his species, whatever the cost to non-humans and reportedly humans. The Citadel Council regards him as a fanatic who poses a serious threat to galactic security. The reclusive tycoon is the head of Cerberus, an organization that furthers his pro-human agenda throughout the galaxy. His views have led him into questionable alliances. Recent rumors go so far as to suggest that the Elusive Man may even have allied with the Reapers.
Cerberus Centurion. Centurions are Cerberus's frontline tacticians. They are meant to enact the Elusive Man's strategic goals, although it is clear that they have leeway to adapt as an encounter develops. The only useful intelligence that the Alliance has gathered on Centurions relates to their armament. Each Centurion carries an M96 Matic heavy rifle, modified to launch smoke grenades, leaving enemies vulnerable to crossfire. Guardians, the Cerberus equivalent of human tanks, are slow-moving soldiers who carry enormous polycrystalline composite shields. The weight of the shield requires an armored suit equipped with hydraulic assists and a dedicated power supply. Combining this exceptional protection with the suite of enviro-mapping systems, Guardians focus on flanking opponents to flush them from cover. A Guardian's slow but relentless approach is intended to demoralize enemies as well as draw their fire, but rip away their shield and Guardians become little more than cannon fodder. Assault troopers are the backbone of Cerberus forces. Those candidates who make it through the grueling basic training are submitted to an intensive psychological program that renders them fearless, disciplined, and unrelenting. Outfitted with custom-designed armor and rifles, these soldiers function with determined precision and practiced teamwork. The first to rush into a fight, assault troopers often work in tandem with more powerful units. They make strategic use of this scenario, keeping their opponents occupied until it is too late to react to the combined Cerberus force bearing down on them. Humans detected Aia as an Earth-type world via telemetry in 2165. After probe surveys indicated life lush life, lush vegetation, and ample fresh water and breathable air, the Alliance upgraded the planet to a garden world colonization priority. Commanded by Captain Ronald Taylor, the crew of Alliance survey vessel Hugo Gernsback made planetfall in the jungle world in 2173. Soon after, ship transmissions inexplicably stopped. While the precise fate of Hugo Gernsback command and crew is unknown, they are presumed killed in action and their vessel destroyed. Pharos is a habitable world in the Attican Beta cluster. Two-thirds of the habitable surface is covered with the ruins of a crumbling Prothean megatropolis. In the millennia since the Prothean extinction, the ruins have been picked over by looters many times. Pharos was considered a poor prospect for colonization, as little open ground remains for agriculture. The only sizable freshwater sources are the poles, which are tapped by the decaying Prothean aqueduct systems. The dead cities, while in good condition considering their antiquity, are of uncertain stability. Ground level is congested by a dozen meters of fallen debris, and the air is fouled by dust. In 2178, the Human Exogeny Corporation announced its intention to place a permanent colony on Pharos to thoroughly explore the ruins. The pioneer settlement was placed on the upper levels of several intact skyscrapers, using the surviving Prothean aqueducts and rooftop hydroponic gardens to support the population. Freedom's Progress colony was once a typical Alliance settlement, but following complete communications blackout and its apparent destruction, is now a lightning rod for anxiety and dread in the galactic human community. The communications blackout followed by an upgrade of the colony's small military force, supplemented by mechs and security drones with high-powered tower-mounted Guardian lasers. Colonists complained about construction cost overruns, delays, noise, and damage to the local environment. They also feared the defense array could be seen as provocative to their world's neighbors. Such fears may not have been baseless. Authorities have still offered no explanation for the communications blackout, fueling rumors of plagues, natural disasters, or a cult-inspired mass suicide. Located in strategically insignificant space, Freedom's Progress colony had once offered residents spectacular rainbows, lush marshlands, and stunning mountain ranges. Its potential as an agricultural settlement and tourism wonderland rivaled that of any Alliance colony. Before the Geth Revolt of 300 years ago, the Quarians colonized Haestrom to study the mysterious instability of its sun, which threatened premature eruption into a red giant. As a scientific outpost of minimal military value, Haestrom was ill-equipped to repel Geth forces during the insurrection and fell quickly under their control. Captured Geth planetary survey data indicates that, despite sustaining damage, Haestrom's architecture remains as it was before the war, preserving a Quarian architectural style that no longer exists anywhere else in the galaxy. Because Haestrom's sun has overwhelmed the planet's protective magnetosphere, humans foolhardy enough to venture into Geth-controlled Haestrom must exercise extreme caution. Minutes of radiation exposure will overload shields, and hours of exposure will kill. Furthermore, solar output renders surface-to-orbit communication nearly impossible. A regional hub of Asari commerce awash in riches, Ilium is infamous for its abusive labor practices and legalization of nearly everything except murder. As such, Ilium is the preferred production site for weapons and pharmaceuticals that would be illegal nearly everywhere else, made even more lucrative by legal indentured servitude. Among the biotics-related pharmaceutical producers is the Dentius Corporation, a rising star in galactic commerce. Despite the dangers of its products, Ilium is renowned for glamour, luxury, and safety provided by near-total surveillance, making it a favored tourist destination. Countless celebrities maintain palatial estates on Ilium, and in its capital, Nosastra, the sole obstacle to business in Ilium is its extensive bureaucracy tolerated only for its provision of security. Regardless of the character of its economy, Ilium's self-congratulatory media exalts its own society with the provincial arrogance of new money, glorifying in sexist CEOs and 10 richest residents lists. Like the ancient human city of Troy, Ilos is a world known only through second-hand sources. References to Ilos have been found at several other Prothean ruins, though direct study of the world is unlikely to occur. Ilos remains in a remote area of the Terminus systems, only accessible by the legendary Mu Relay. 4,000 years ago, the Mu Relay was knocked out of position by a supernova and lost. Since then, Ilos and its cluster have been inaccessible. Occasionally, a university will organize an expedition to chart a route to Ilos using conventional FTL drive. These never get beyond the planning stages due to the distance and danger. The journey could take years or decades, passing through the hostile Terminus systems and dozens of unexplored systems. That's all I'm going to read of those for now. I'll come back. All right. The Normandy is equipped with a new and improved scanning pulse that can detect objects of interest. Use this to uncover war assets, artifacts, intel, and fuel as you fly around a system. Be aware, however, that each time the pulse is used, the chance that Reapers will enter the system to investigate is increased. If a Reaper enters the system you are in, flee and wait until you have completed a mission before returning. Nothing. Probably only a point in doing this at places that... Yeah, this is silly. Bolus, this planet needs a protein obelisk. Recover it from the Shrike Abyssal. Shrike Abyssal. Where is the Shrike Abyssal? I'll just go there. Oh, I should... They say they're at 0%. That must mean there's something there to scan, right? Let's just go to Nahuala. Come on, this is ridiculous. Fontes? Nothing. This is insane.
I found something.
Finally.
Signal confirmed.
That other one is almost certainly fuel, so I'm gonna wait until I find that other. There's gonna be a single artifact somewhere. Oh, no, more than one, actually. This is silly.
I found something.
I must have missed something somewhere, right? Maybe not. Okay, that's 100%.
Signal confirmed. I found something.
Commander, the Citadel fleet issued an alert about some valuable items they need recovered from this system.
Signal confirmed. found something.
Alright, is that all the assets right now, or are there more? That's not all. Okay.
Signal confirmed. I found something. Signal confirmed.
Is that all in this system right now? Or like this galaxy, or whatever it's called? Not galaxy, no. Cluster.
I found something. Signal confirmed.
Commander, Liara thought we might find something for the Crucible here.
I found something.
Commander, Liara suggests we keep an eye out here for anything that can assist with the Crucible.
Where is this thing I'm supposed to keep an eye out for? Great.
Signal confirmed. I found something.
There's the Cerberus lab. Not going to do that yet, though. The Tartarus debris field consists of the ancient wreckage of thousands of spaceships that attempted to navigate the Omega-4 relay without an IFF. The constantly shifting tides of debris have hindered Cerberus's recent attempts to set navigation buoys to mark safe routes through the hazards. Alright, is there anything in here I can use? Probably
Signal
not. Oh,
confirmed.
there we go. A Cerberus station sits amid the Tartarus debris fields. Parts of the old collector base float nearby, many tethered to the main base. The remnants show signs of the extensive effort Cerberus made to scour any technology or materials. All of the new base's transports, shuttles, and escape pods have been used. Where they have gone and what made them leave is unknown, especially since the pods would be unlikely to survive the debris field, let alone the relay. Auto emergency beacons broadcast on a loop, some suggesting the station is in quarantine, and still others emit standard galactic distress codes. Radar scans suggest that at least part of the station is sealed and pressurized. Computer systems appear to have burnt themselves out, deepening the mystery. Interesting. This is the center of the galaxy, or is this just a black hole? Either way, I shouldn't be able to fly through it like this. Anyway. Yeah, this is the center of the galaxy. So if I go back to the Omega Nebula, and then I click on this one, I cannot select. Oh wait, I can. That's not right. Okay, well, whatever. We're going back to Omega.
I found something. Signal confirmed.
The wreckage of the vast heretic station floats silently following its destruction in 2185. Once called Haratar by the Quarians, this space station was stripped of its useful technology by the fleeing migrant fleet when they left the Perseus Veil 300 years ago. Little more than a cold metal superstructure floating in the void, the station was removed from star charts by 2050 CE. Before their destruction, Geth heretics reconstructed and upgraded the station in a massive effort that took an estimated 10 years. Now all that remains is a floating junkyard full of silent heretic platforms. The wreckage contains massive amounts of valuable materials that could be useful for those industrious enough to salvage it.
I found something.
Ilos.
Signal confirmed. I found something.
I'm gonna pause real quick. I'll be right back. I need to do something. Alright, let's see here.
Signal confirmed. I found something. Signal confirmed.
Oh, what am I doing?
I found something. Signal confirmed. I found something. Signal confirmed.
Commander, Admiral Hackett believes this system may contain assets we could use for the Crucible.
I found something. Signal confirmed. I found something. Signal confirmed. I found something. Signal confirmed.
Alright, we're getting there eventually here.
Come Commander, battles were fought here. We might be able to learn something.
I found something. Signal confirmed. I found something. Signal confirmed.
Commander, battles were fought here. We might be able to learn something.
I found something. Signal confirmed. I found something.
No. Oh no, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Evasion successful. Reapers eluded.
Okay, I just cannot do that right now, apparently. There's something there, but I can't get it.
Signal confirmed. I found something.
Okay, I think I've gone through everything except for these. Let's do recover protein artifact. Oh, before I do this, let's... Alright, let's see here. Liara Tassoni and engineer Audemus have managed to recover protein data disks from the wreckage of the Normandy SR-1 on Alchera during exploration in 2183. The crew gathered these fragile artifacts and stored them in exposure-proof safes. These disks have now been passed to the Crucible team to aid with further understanding the weapon blueprints. Science teams have been deployed to the ruins on Helene, where an ancient race disappeared 300,000 years ago. Scientists are looking at the planet of Farnuri for clues on Reaper activity. A team has been deployed to Binthu to look at the Prothean pyramids there for any clues. Efforts to collect data from Ilos on the Protheans has been redoubled. Any clues to help translate the Crucible plans. That's not right. Anyway. Jovian dissertation. This scientific data draws conclusions about the gas giant Isale's exceptionally powerful magnetic field, which has complex interactions with those of its moons. The mathematics used to model this complexity can provide new insight into the math of the Prothean device. A brief glance at the data hints at some kind of energetic pulse that might pass through the magnetosphere of a planet unimpeded, but any details are best derived by high-energy physicists. Exogeny scientists. The Exogeny Corporation helped fund colonies all over the galaxy in exchange for a share of any natural resources found by settlers. Zoo's Hope was one of their richest claims. The colonists were obligated to turn over any Prothean discoveries in the ancient ruins on Pharos. A team of Exogeny scientists studying the few scraps of Prothean material found around Zoo's Hope have become experts in their own right, contributing their knowledge to the Crucible project. Volus fabrication units. Volus companies are skilled at mass-producing whatever manufactured goods are currently in demand. Factories use modular equipment to switch their production lines from arms to housing to the next big galactic buying trend. Recovered from a manufacturing compound, these fabrication units can stamp out custom plastics for the Crucible on an industrial scale. Vorcha Labor Team. These socialized Vorcha were a maintenance and calibration crew on a small scientific outpost orbiting Tyrix. Such skilled labor is rare among Vorcha, but not unheard of. Since Vorcha trained by other species for precision tasks develop finely tuned nerves and senses. Additionally, this crew can heal cellular damage caused by radiation exposure, which is useful since the Crucible is being built where no planet's magnetosphere protects it, and extravehicular activity on its hull is often required. Mineral resources. Updated. Commander Shepard uncovered... did that one. The blueprints found on Mars for the Prothean device call for vast quantities of Element Zero throughout its construction. The Alliance and its allies are annexing all known sources of this precious resource that the Reapers haven't already cut off. In turn, desperation has led to miners braving the Bermuda Triangle of Praying Mouth to gather the Ezo from the drive cores of derelict ships. interferometric array. Normally, interferometric arrays are used to analyze planetary landmasses or to determine the astrophysical properties of stellar systems. The powerful array salvaged from the Hercules system can be used for something much more ambitious. The Crucible tunes into the mast relay's command switches, installing the interferometric array into the Crucible systems, resulting in a real-time map of the entire galaxy, including the position of each and every Reaper in the Milky Way. Updated. The second half of the interferometric array has been recovered from the Voyager cluster, further improving the Crucible's astrological mapping system. Oh, there's a lot. Haptic Optics Array. The Haptic Optics Array is an experimental computer user interface. Cortical implants allow users to see screens projected in front of them. A user's eye movements are tracked, syncing to hand gestures as they sift through data. While disorienting at first, people using the optics array report increased efficiency, and the technology has been adapted by several dozen engineers for use on the Crucible. Radiation shielding sheath. The Prothean device is being built in space, where its inner workings may be vulnerable to cosmic radiation from nearby stars. While the construction plan has taken standard risks into account, a sudden turn in space weather could pierce the basic shielding and irradiate the device and crew. Superior magnetic shielding used by the research station on Sinmara would provide a low-cost way to keep the device safe against all but the most unusual energetic emissions. Geth weather device. The heretic Geth deployed a prototype of a powerful device to affect the weather on Canalis. The aims of their research remain unknown, but the technology to harness energy to control chaotic systems can be applied in the Crucible's power mapping apparatus. Element Zero Converter. Element Zero refineries are large industrial facilities that remove impurities from the elements, also called EZO, before it is used to fuel starships or gravity generators. It's an important process, as sending an electrical charge through impure EZO can cause the element to explode. By setting up a conversion facility beside the Crucible, EZO can be mined, refined, and supplied to the project in record time. Emergency fuel pods. The fuel pods scavenged from a field of debris in the Valhallan threshold were once attached to a fleet of merchant vessels, making long, risky journeys into uncharted space. The pods have been repurposed for the Crucible project. When activated, the Crucible's fusion reactors consume entire oceans of helium-3. The fuel pods serve as emergency reservoirs should the weapon use more power than expected. Shadow Broker Starship Tech. The Shadow Broker's unarmed vessels served as both a data repository and a stealth ship for the enigmatic information trader. The ship ingeniously drew its power from the thunderstorms raging constantly on the planet it orbited, relying on an interlocking system of kinetic barriers, grounding rods, and capacitors to avoid being ripped apart. These systems have been repurposed for sections of the Crucible that require the safe discharge of tremendous amounts of energy. Alliance Irregulars. Colonists from across the Alliance systems are volunteering or being conscripted to fight the Reapers. The colonists are often poorly armed and armored, but the Alliance is doing what it can to improve their training and equipment. Updated. The Alliance has acquired mercenaries formerly in the employ of eccentric Volus billionaire Kuman Shull. The Volus' screams could be heard in neighboring systems. The mercenaries said they preferred fighting the Reapers to listen more of his ravings. Synth Diamond Heat Sinks. Synthetic diamond is a key ingredient in military-grade heat sinks that are used in computing high-end thermal clips in starship weapons. Liberating tons of it from facilities on Brest will help both ground and space forces. Hane Kedar mechs. A damaged Hane Kedar facility has been repaired and upgraded to produce Loki and Ymir mechs. The Reaper's superior hacking abilities has required that the mech VIs be programmed via hard line. Once activated, their orders cannot be changed. While this reduces the flexibility of their programming, they still prove useful in situations against ground forces where disruption and distraction are needed to prevent unnecessary human losses. Alright, Turian. I probably hadn't read this one before. The threat of Turian firepower once kept entire armies in check. Now the hierarchy's vast fleets and numerous soldiers are needed to win the largest war in galactic history. Turian Spec Ops team. Guard Captain Vidinos heads a special operatives team that distinguishes itself in the war on Tatris, tracking down Turian separatist leaders opposing the hierarchy. During the war, the separatists rammed a ship traveling at FTL speeds into the heart of Tatris' capital. Vidinos' unit experienced their worst fighting in the Diluvian wildlands, unwelcoming marshes with a population deeply sympathetic to the separatist cause. Updated. Vidinos' team has been upgraded by a select few non-Turian specialists. Animosity has turned to grudging respect for the few who can match him in the combat simulator. Citadel Space. With the arrival of the Reapers, this seemingly unstoppable enemy has spurred the inhabitants of every species within Citadel Space into action in an effort to defend their homes and families. Volus Dreadnought Quunu. The Volus have only produced one dreadnought, the Quunu, named after the diplomat who negotiated their client race status with the Turians. The Quunu is the only Volus ship of its class, but it is remarkably well armed. Its broadside cannons and main gun are all Thanix magnetic hydrodynamic weapons. A Turian general touring the Quunu after its maiden system voyage enthusiastically declared that the ship could char a planet 3 times over. While its construction was funded entirely by the Elkos Combine Corporation, the dreadnought was jointly gifted to the Vol Protectorate and the Turian hierarchy upon completion. Industrial and economic support. Alright, let's see. Liquid assets. No war can be fought without a bankroll, and the corporate mavens of Ilium know it. Having escaped the invasion, a so-called Gang of Five is leveraging their staggering financial power to acquire the best talent and materials for the Prothean device. They are doing so in necessary ignorance, believing they are hiring and acquiring parts for a new kind of fusion plant, as the device's existence is a tightly guarded secret. Alright. Alright, so I am going to go and check to see if there are any more upgrades I can get, which I think there are from Glyph.
Dr. Tassoni found useful information in the data you recovered, Commander.
Alright, weapon upgrade kit. This field kit can be used for one-time upgrade to a variety of weapons to increase ammo capacity or the potential damage dealt. Schematics have been scanned into Normandy's onboard computers. Now let's do weapon damage. Intel from the Battle of Arcturus. Telemetry captured from Arcturus Station shows just how quickly Reapers poured in from the relay and tore through Alliance fleets. VIs can analyze hostile fire and the data collected to increase weapon damage. They can also spend processing power looking for ways to improve shielding against Reaper weapons. We're going to do weapon damage. Research data from Pragia. Data on experimental gene therapies was buried in the ruins of the Pragia research facility. While most gene therapy takes years to show results, Pragia's scientists have discovered a way to shorten the process. 2 intact sample vials have been recovered from the facility. The only limiting factor is that no more than one such therapy can be applied per 10-month period without causing serious nerve damage to the recipient. Okay, power cooldown. Intact Reaper weapon. The barrel of this Reaper weapon can be dismantled for further study. If the miniaturized energy cells powering the gun systems are taken apart, it could lead to improvements in the damage a weapon can deal. However, an examination of its heat venting systems could instead provide the means to maximize thermal clip storage. We'll do weapon damage. Alright, there we go. And now I'm going to try to buy as many weapon upgrades as I can.
Good done.
Alright, Widow 7. The highest it goes? I guess that's the highest it goes. Okay, and I can't buy for... Oh, there it is. M11 suppressor. Alright, there we go. Oh, there are higher ones. Where's the Higher Widow then? The M11 suppressor can go higher, but the Widow can't? Whatever. What's my weapon cooldown bonus now? Minus 45%. Still not great, but better than it was. All right. The idyllic agrarian world was one of the first human colonies established beyond the Charon mass relay. Eden Prime's fertile biosphere drew heavy immigration from the Systems Alliance and other human organizations. In 2183, Eden Prime was attacked by a Geth force led by the rogue Spectre Sarah and Arturius. Commander Shepard, responding to the attack, encountered a Prothean beacon that warned of imminent Reaper invasion. It is thanks to this beacon and the Commander's quick action that the galaxy has any chance of survival today. Although the Reapers rushed past much of the Exodus cluster in their plan to take Earth, it is clear that the war has come to Eden Prime. Distress signals have jammed all available frequencies, fires burn in vast swaths across the arable land, and this once extensive monorail system is twisted metal. Cerberus has much to lose if word of their ruthless attack on the human colony gets out. What they stand to gain must be equally valuable. Alright. I believe there's no extra... Yeah, I'm sticking with that for myself. As for them... Oh, I might want to go with a different shotgun, actually. So there's a scimitar, there's the lower... Plasma shotgun, eviscerator, claymore. You know what? We'll give him the claymore. And for its assault rifle, do the Matic. And Liara. Lower fire rate, way higher accuracy. Let's do this. Sure. And then here, probably going to go with that one. Yeah. Can't level myself up. You can't level Liara up. Him, I can give another rank in Arms Master.
Eden Prime. This is where it all began. Where the Prothean beacon gave you the vision that warned us about the Reapers.
And where you went up against Saren and the Geth for the first time, no?
Yes. And now, with Cerberus here, Eden Prime's colonists are under attack again.
Seems like more than just 3 years ago.
How bad?
A lot of dead civilians. Lost one of my men, Jenkins, to a Geth drone.
Reports said Saren had bombs set up to wipe out the whole colony.
Not on my watch.
Damn straight, loco.
Cerberus hit Eden Prime hard. Whatever they found here was worth a major offensive. There are survivors elsewhere on the colony, but they killed everyone near the dig site.
They deserve better.
I know. The Alliance did what it could to evacuate colonists, but Cerberus came in so quickly.
If we find survivors, we'll do what we can. What about this artifact? Is it part of the Prothean device we found on Mars?
The Alliance didn't get any specifics about what Cerberus has uncovered. But whatever it is, it's better off with us than with Cerberus.
I'm bringing you in as close to the dig site as I can. No way we'll avoid detection, but you should have a few minutes.
Appreciate it.
All part of the service, Commander.
All right, everyone. Get ready to move.
With luck, we can get to the dig site before Cerberus knows we're here. No sign of survivors. Come on, we need to find the dig site.
This was a beautiful colony once.
They came back after the Geth attack. They'll come back from this.
They rebuilt Minduar. It wasn't the same.
They'll never forget. All we can hope is that they grow stronger for it.
Let's read those codex entries. Well, if there are any. Okay. Yeah, these should be quick, hopefully. Protheans, data disks. Despite all the evidence confirming the existence of the Protheans, little is known about their culture and society. From time to time, dig sites will yield new clues, but after 50,000 years of decay, little of value is unearthed. Recent research has focused on the discovery of Prothean data disks. On their own, they are frail and rarely found in one piece. Occasionally, however, an intact disk will be discovered within a console or reading device. To date, over 36 disks have been recovered, and a few of these have been restored to the point where researchers can begin analyzing them. Though it may be some time before scientists discover a way to transfer the data off the disks, they are currently considered the most tangible leads for learning more about the Prothean culture. Geth heretics. Conversations with the Geth programs dubbed Legion have brought to light a profound schism in Geth society. When Saren Arturius approached the Geth and the Dreadnought Sovereign, some of them chose to follow him. Most did not. Saren's followers were allowed to leave Geth society, but were dubbed heretics by those that remained. This revelation implies several things. First, the majority of Geth chose not to attack organic society. Second, the Geth forces the Council and Alliance fleets have battled the last 2 years represent only a small portion of their actual military and economic power, perhaps as little as 5% of mainstream Geth society. Third, this schism suggests that individual Geths possess more free will and perhaps even personality than previously suspected. Without such individuality, no Geth could have deviated from the group decision to join or reject Saren's mission. There could not have been a division. Finally, there's the matter of Legion's word choice. The Geth used the English word heretics to describe Saren's followers. Of the many words Legion could have chosen, nonconformists, dissenters, rebels, etc., only the word heretic suggests a broadly accepted Geth philosophy or religion, and that the actions of Saren's allies violated the orthodoxy. Gas bag. Native to the planet Eden Prime in the Utopia system, gas bags were first encountered by human colonists who settled the system in 2152. Benign and unintelligent, these odd animals have a number of protuberant, gas-filled sacs growing out of their core body structure. These pods allow the creature to float gently along from place to place. Dangling from their underbellies are 4 legs and 4 rear tendrils, each varying in length. These tentacles are used to catch prey in shallow swamps and ponds, where they congregate in groups. Their sacs are filled with an ammonia-hydrogen mix that means the animals are vulnerable to exploding if punctured by small arms fire. The shower of entrails is mildly toxic. Inexperienced hunters on Eden Prime often use them for target practice. From Ashes. Eden Prime. In 2151, as the first anxious settlers made their way through the new Charon mass relay, many of them wondered whether the reality of life on Eden Prime could possibly live up to the stories of pristine landscapes that drew them there.
What the colonists found exceeded their expectations. The stable climate and compatible biology made the colony almost instantly viable. Over the next few decades, several million humans immigrated to Eden Prime, and a primarily agrarian culture developed. The new colony quickly became not only self-sufficient, but began exporting goods. Chief among these were rare plants grown from Earth's many heritage seed libraries. But in 2183, the colonists faced a true test of their character. Eden Prime was attacked by the rogue specter Saren Arterius and his Geth allies. Not long after, the Citadel was attacked by those same forces, and Eden Prime's neighboring world, Terra Nova, found itself threatened with complete destruction. Faced with such violence, a lesser citizenry might have retreated back to the safety of Earth, as so many colonists of Terra Nova did, but Eden Prime's governing body refused to give in. Not only did the colonists vote overwhelmingly to block a measure calling for the building of evacuation ships, they voted to ease restrictions on immigrants from Terra Nova looking for a new home. As a result, Eden Prime's population has swelled. Whatever the war might bring, its status as a symbol of humanity's future in the stars remains unblemished. Prothean Beacon. In 2183, human scientists uncovered a Prothean technological artifact on the planet of Eden Prime. While repelling an attack by Saren Arterius' Geth allies, Commander Shepard's squad came into the artifact's proximity and set it off. The object, described as a beacon, sent the commander jumbled sounds and images intended to warn of the imminent Reaper invasion. The beacon overloaded during the process and violently exploded. While the vision it provided was dismissed by the Citadel Council as a highly subjective experience, since that time, the Council's Committee on Paleotechnology have analyzed the fragments of the beacon in an effort to understand how it communicated. What they found was not quite the telepathic technology that the Alliance Marines described in the reports. The beacon was equipped with a mass effect field generator to hold its subject immobile, a necessary step to minimize collateral damage during the rest of the process. The beacon then nearly instantaneously scanned the structure of its target's optic and auditory nerves, as well as many parts of the brain responsible for memory. Once this expert system determined the proportions of those key features, the beacon stimulated them with pinpoint electromagnetic and other irradiative energy, using powerful programs to recreate any images or sound the beacon required. In principle, this was similar to the popular entertainment device known as the SimStim, but vastly more comprehensive. SimStims direct the senses, not memory. The Normandy's medical officer noted that the beacon delivered more information over the space of seconds than a SimStim could do in hours, and managed to do so to a species whose physiology was completely unknown to its designers. To a paleotech, the fact that Commander Shepard needed assistance to decipher the message is a minor footnote. Compared to the Protheans' accomplishments, getting any of the message is a minor footnote compared to the Protheans' accomplishment getting any of the message to Shepard at all. Alright, there we go. Let's continue.
Look at that. Bits of Prothean tech sticking out of the ground like an old bone. Hey, Liara, you ever find dinosaurs while you're digging around?
No, dinosaurs and other fossils would be paleontology. I'm an archaeologist. I study artifacts left by sapient species. The two fields are completely different, and... you were joking.
Hey, I just like dinosaurs.
I'm going to hold off on that because I know I'm going to be back here later, and I will want... Processing update. We've taken more able-bodied men and women from pacified neighborhoods. The colonists generally have accepted the story that they have gone to perform tedious but safe manual labor in a Cerberus research camp on the other side of the planet. And when we increased food rations as payment for the work, most of the complaints died out. Maintain the story as long as possible. We don't have the manpower to fight the entire colony, and if these families knew they were never going to see their sons and daughters again, there's no way they'd cooperate.
Shepard, this Cerberus data could help the colonists still alive on other parts of Eden Prime.
How?
I can get this intel to Eden Prime's resistance. Maybe it will help them fight back against Cerberus. There. That's the elevator that leads down into the dig site. Goddess, that doesn't seem possible. It's not a Prothean artifact, it's... a Prothean.
You mean a collector? Those things the Reapers turn the Protheans into?
No, an original unmodified Prothean who's still alive.
You're right. That doesn't sound possible.
You saw Prothean stasis chambers in the archives on Ilos. The only reason those failed was a lack of power. Cerberus found this in an underground bunker. It still has power. He's been in stasis for the past 50,000 years, waiting for us. Think of what we could learn.
What can you tell me about the Protheans? The people, not the technology.
Given your experience with the Prothean cipher, you probably know as much about them as I do. The Prothean Empire spanned the known galaxy. They uplifted countless other species to help them join the galactic community.
Uplifted, huh? Like when the Solarians helped the Krogan to evolve a little... faster.
Yes. Judging by the dig sites like the Prothean Archive on Mars or here on Eden Prime, the Protheans wanted other species to learn. It's clear that they prize knowledge, growth, and cooperation with the rest of the galaxy.
The way you describe them, they sound a lot like the Asari.
I'm certain I'm coloring their culture with my own perceptions. Whatever the Protheans were, finding one alive represents an incredible opportunity.
Good thing we brought our Prothean expert.
I hope I can help. If this single Prothean was sent into stasis, he could be the foremost scientist of his time, or perhaps the wisest counselor. Cerberus damaged the life pod when they excavated it. The life signs are unstable.
Then let's get him out of there.
No, breaking open the pod would kill him. We have to find the command signal that ends the stasis mode. We also need to figure out how to physically open the pod without doing more damage. Cerberus took over the labs nearby to research what they found at the dig site. That's likely our best bet.
Heads up!
Let's do this. Oh, that was a miss. There's a guy right there. Where is he? Ha! Shot you in the behind.
All right. Let's get moving before more of them come back.
Troop deployment update. Local resistance is heavy in the south and west sections of the colony. We've pulled most of our troops from the north neighborhoods to assist. All remaining troops in the north neighborhood continue standard patrol activities to maintain the illusion of a larger presence in that area. If the locals knew we were understaffed, they could do some serious damage.
More intel to help the colonists. The more we find, the better chance they'll have.
Mm-hmm. Was that a miss? No, I hit it. Oh, one of them managed to get a turret down. Great. Nope. I'm out of ammo. Great.
There. That lab found footage of the Protheans. Cerberus is studying it to find the stasis deactivation signal.
Okay, before I go there, let's check out here.
They were gunned down while having drinks and watching the game.
Son of a bitch, this was somebody's home.
Alright, out of ammo again.
There. That lab found footage of the Protheans. Cerberus is studying it to figure out how to physically open the pod.
Uh-huh. Yep, I know. I'm trying to find the rest of that data. I'll go ahead and grab that for experience. Level up disruptor ammo, that'll be helpful. Headshot damage? Yeah, let's do that. That might be helpful. Pure biotic. Well, that's the terminal, I think. But before I do that, look around here. Alright, whatever. I'll go ahead and look at that terminal. Well, there's that room. I'll come back to it. Oh, no, that's where I'm supposed to go. I don't want to go there yet. That terminal is something else. Resistance information update. We've gotten word from our source within Eden Prime's resistance movement that we can expect an attack on our security center between 2200 and 2300 tomorrow night. They're pulling in forces from across the colony. This gives us the perfect chance to destroy their leadership. Once the attack is contained, allow Dr. William Cambiata to escape, firing near-miss shots to keep it realistic. He's given us good information, and with luck, the locals will see him as a daring hero and the only man to escape the Cerberus trap. They might even put him in charge.
Perfect. This intel will give Eden Prime's resistance movement a real chance to push Cerberus out of their colony.
Hopefully that's the last one. Oh, I need more ammo. Come on, give me the ammo here. There we go. That's something. Still low, but... There we go.
Victory! Seal the bunker!
Acknowledged.
How many have we lost?
Reaper forces have destroyed approximately 300,000 life pods.
Third of our people.
Alert! Northside bulkhead cannot be sealed. Hostiles detected.
Then all forces to the north.
I think I can duplicate that to open the life pod.
You understood that?
You didn't?
No. All I saw was static. Cerberus was trying to make sense of it without success. The Prothean cipher you received on Pharos, it lets you see the images as a Prothean would, and understand their language.
Whatever it does, I saw the video. And how they sealed the life pods.
Perfect. Then we just need the signal they use to activate stasis mode.
Yeah, see, only Protheans being able to see that is bogus. Like, it doesn't like, so Protheans only see video through static? That doesn't make sense. The other option is that it uses like some kind of special light frequency that only Protheans can see, but that doesn't make sense either, because why would the visual display be able to display those frequencies? It's just garbage, that explanation. And also, I wouldn't be able to see those light frequencies even with the cipher, I wouldn't think. Any things? Yeah, that. There we go.
I never thought our empire would fall. It won't. We will sleep here until the Reapers return to dark space. Then we will rise, 1,000,000 strong. For the Empire. For the Empire. Get to your stasis pod. Victory. Broadcast the stasis readiness signal to all life pods.
And the refugees who have yet to reach the bunker.
Their sacrifice will be honored in the coming Empire.
You understood that one too?
Yeah. I've got the signal the Protheans use to activate stasis mode.
Excellent. Then we have everything we need to open the pod.
Before we do that, let's read the codex entry. Protheans. Cipher. Despite all the evidence confirming the existence of the Protheans, little is known about their culture and society. From time to time, dig sites will yield new clues, but after 50,000 years of decay, little of value is unearthed. Recent research has focused on the discovery of Prothean data disks. On their own, they are frail and rarely found in one piece. Occasionally, however, an intact disk will be discovered within a console or reading device. To date, over 3 dozen disks have been recovered, and a few of those have been restored to the point where researchers can begin analyzing them. Though it may be some time before scientists discover a way to transfer the data off the disks, they are currently considered the most tangible leads. Wait, what? What? That's not right. Well, that's just wrong. Okay, well, whatever. Organizations. Engineers. Cerberus combat engineers are specialized support units that assist primary forces while staying out of the line of fire. They wear lighter armor than the typical Cerberus combatants, using a modified mesh that allows greater mobility. Undercover and out of sight, engineers focus on setting up and maintaining turrets, as well as repairing mechanical units or armored allies. When confronted, they return fire only for as long as it takes them to find cover again, and let frontline combat personnel take over. Although engineers are not particularly dangerous on their own, the Alliance specifically warns troops to remain alert for turrets, which can mow down an entire squad while the engineer escapes. Nemesis. The Nemesis is a Cerberus sniper specialist. Customized implants allow the Nemesis to withstand the crippling knockback of the M98 Widow anti-material rifle, turning a redoubtable opponent into a force capable of inflicting instant death. A suite of high-tech scanning equipment makes the sniper adept at maintaining cover, meaning the Nemesis is usually spotted only after opening fire, assuming the target survives the first round. Because of self-defense mechanisms they had to activate upon the sniper's death, the Alliance has never retrieved an example of Nemesis augmentation technology. This fact, combined with Cerberus Force's penchant for suicide when faced with capture, has made scientific study of their implants impossible. There we go.
Backup forces are here.
Where'd it go? There he is.
They've retracted the bridge. We have to find another way across.
I'm transmitting the signal.
Perfect. It'll take a few moments for the life pod to process it.
Lots of bogies.
Where are they?
Inbound, Commander. We'll have to hold this position. Here they come!
Where'd he go? Still.
Looks like we've got a second to catch our breath.
Wish my corner man was here. I could use an ice pack.
Has the life pod ended stasis mode?
We're almost there!
I'm gonna go grab this
If
just.
anybody's low, there's a server.
Let's see. Sticker grenade? Sure. Oops.
Supply cache in the building next door.
I can lay down a singularity to block enemy access.
Alright, there we go.
Heavy mech, don't let it get close!
There we go. Alright, now I can use that. Maybe, if I can get to it. No, 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 no! I didn't realize that they could take it too.
can open the life pod now. There, you've got it. Goddess. It may take him some time to fully regain consciousness. Be careful, he's confused. Remember, it's been 50,000 years for us, but for him, it's only been...
A few minutes!
No. The bunker is falling. There is no other option.
There are pods online! Those soldiers are still alive!
Their sacrifice will be honored in the coming Empire. Preparing neutron bombardment. Get to your life pod now. Neutron bombardment underway. The bunker is secure. Commander traffic.
What is left of it? Few hundred people. How am I to rebuild an empire from that?
Further adjustments may be necessary. The neutron purge compromised the facility.
Clarify.
Sensors are damaged. Automated reactivation is not an option. You'll remain in stasis until a new culture discovers this bunker. This may lead to a power shortage.
Do not shut off more pods! I need the few that are left!
Power needs will be triaged appropriately. You will be the voice of our people.
I will be more than that. How many others?
Just you. You can understand me?
Yes. Now that I have read your physiology, your nervous system, enough to understand your language.
So you were reading me, while I was seeing...
Our last moments. Our failure.
Your people did everything they could. They never gave up. And I could use some of that commitment now.
Shepard, whatever you did got Cerberus interested.
Asari. Human. I'm surrounded by primitives.
It's not safe here. Will you join us?
You fight the Reapers?
Yes.
Then we will see.
A living Prothean.
That's correct, Admiral. But he's not quite what we expected.
Commander, our scientists barely understand what they need to do here. If the Prothean can help us construct this device, we need his cooperation.
Understood, Admiral.
We're losing colonies faster than we can evacuate. We've never seen a force like the Reapers.
He has, Admiral.
Can he help us?
I intend to find out.
Good. Cerberus slipped up and gave us a new weapon. Don't let it go to waste. Hack it out.
Shepard, I need you down in the port cargo hold. It's about our new guest.
I'm on my way. What's the problem?
I've tried to make the room more accommodating, but they're not letting me talk to him.
Apologies, Doctor. Contact protocol with a new species. Assume hostility. We had to dust off the regulations.
But he's not new. I've spent my life studying Protheans.
At ease. I don't think our guest will be a problem. Will he?
That depends on you. I can sense fear in you, anxiety and distress. The Reapers are winning.
What do you mean, you sense?
All life provides clues for those who can read them. It is in your cells, your DNA. Experience is a biological marker.
Then what exactly did I experience back on Eden Prime? That was a hell of a flashback.
The battle left its own mark on me. I communicated this to you. It can work both ways.
Like your beacons.
Yes. Which... You found one. You saw it all. Our destruction, our warnings. Why weren't they heeded? Why didn't you prepare for the Reapers, human?
It's Commander. And nobody could understand your warnings. The beacon nearly killed me.
Then communication is still primitive in this cycle.
We pieced together what we could, and used it to stop a Reaper invasion 3 years ago.
Then the extinction was delayed.
Now we have your plans for the device. We're going to build it.
Device?
The weapon your people were working on. I'd hoped you could tell us how to finish it.
We never finished it. It was too late.
Then I take it you don't know anything about the catalyst?
No. I was a soldier, not a scientist. Skilled in one art, killing.
What was your mission?
Among my people, there were avatars of many traits. Bravery, strength, cunning. A single exemplar for each.
Which are you?
The embodiment of vengeance. I am the anger of a dead people, demanding blood be spilled for the blood we lost. Only when the last Reaper has been destroyed will my purpose be fulfilled. I have no other reason to exist. Those who share my purpose become allies. Those who do not become casualties.
Nothing in our fight against the Reapers has been that cut and dried.
Because you still have hope that this war will end with your honor intact.
I do.
Stand in the ashes of 1 trillion dead souls and ask the ghosts if honor matters. This silence is your answer.
We found this at the dig site. I assume it belongs to you.
It is a memory shard.
Could it help us with the device?
No. It contains only pain. But I will help you fight. And the last thing the Reapers hear before they die will be the last voice of the Protheans, sending them to their grave.
If you don't mind, I have a few more questions I'd like to ask.
Here it comes.
I've written over a dozen studies on your species. I've published in several journals that...
Amusing. Asari have finally mastered writing.
I'm sorry?
Never mind. What do you wish to know?
Is there anything more you can tell us about this device your people were trying to build?
We heard only stories. They said our scientists were constructing a great machine that had the power to defeat the Reapers.
You never saw it?
By that point, the Empire was smashed into pieces. None of us knew what the others were doing.
Well, if we don't finish it soon, the same will be true of us.
What can you tell us about your own war with the Reapers?
Many of the details were lost. The conflict lasted for centuries. Those that faced the Reapers in the beginning were long dead when I was born. There were memory shards, however, passed down from soldier to soldier. They gave us fragments of what happened.
Several years ago, we found a Prothean VI that called itself Vigil on the planet Ilos. He was the caretaker of a research project.
During my life, Ilos was only a rumor. It was said we had cities there, built on the ruins of a civilization before us, the Inusanon. If our scientists did have a research facility, whatever they were doing was secret.
Yes, Vigil said they wiped all traces of themselves from the records so the Reapers couldn't find them.
The scientists eventually went into cryogenic stasis.
More of my people survived?
No, but they did stop the Reapers from taking control of the Citadel in this cycle. It delayed their invasion.
I never saw the Citadel. It was captured long before I was born.
How did your people wage war against the Reapers?
Attrition. We fought them system by system, planet by planet, city by city. Entire worlds were sacrificed just to slow the Reapers down. Time they spent harvesting a population was time we could regroup.
That must have cost you in the long run.
Yes. Our own people would be indoctrinated, converted, then turned against us. But there was no choice. Mercy is not a weapon. It is a weakness.
Why do you think your own cycle lost the war?
What had been our strength, our empire, became a liability. All races conformed to one doctrine, one strategy. The Reapers exploited this. Once they found our weaknesses, we could not adapt. The subservient races became divided and confused. Then, it was only a matter of time.
I'm happy to say our cycle is different. Most races cooperate, but they still remain unique.
Then it may be your only hope.
Liara here would never forgive me if I didn't ask you. What was Prothean civilization like?
Yes, I've always wondered, what sort of government did you have, and can you tell me about your religious beliefs, or perhaps the...
We are dead now. What does it matter?
I'm sorry. Studying your history has been a lifelong passion of mine.
When I was born, our empire was already at war with the Reapers. The first thing I remember was seeing my planet on fire.
What was your civilization like before the Reaper attack?
We were the dominant race of our cycle. We ruled the galaxy.
My studies indicated you were the only race engaged in space travel at the time. I always found that curious.
We were one empire composed of many subjects. All eventually called themselves Prothean.
What if they didn't want to?
They weren't given a choice.
Are you saying you enslaved the other species?
Any could oppose us if they wished, and if they had won, they would have ruled. Many tried. None succeeded.
I had no idea Protheans were so... severe.
It was by necessity. Very early we encountered the dangers posed by machine intelligence. They rebelled against us.
We've had the same problem. They're called Geth.
We could not allow the machines to surpass us. It was decided the only way to win was to unite all organic life within our empire.
Did it work?
For a time. The Metacon War. We were turning the tide. Until the Reapers arrived. Then we understood machines had surpassed us long ago, in ways we could never imagine.
Back on Eden Prime, it looked like there were other stasis pods. What happened?
The Empire had fallen, and we knew our cycle was lost. We were the final vanguard, the best soldiers left alive.
So more of you were supposed to survive into this cycle?
Yes. Under my leadership, a new Prothean empire would have arisen. We would have commanded the races of your time to prepare for the next Reaper invasion. But traitors within our ranks, indoctrinated agents, betrayed us, and the Reapers discovered our plan.
Just out of curiosity, how would you have commanded us?
By leaving you no other option, you would have joined our army or faced the Reapers alone.
We've uncovered quite a few Prothean ruins. Were you observing our ancestors?
Before the war, we cultivated species who showed potential. Eventually, you would have been offered a choice to join the Empire. But when the Reapers attacked, we ceased all study. We hoped they would see you as too primitive to harvest.
Well, thank you. I think. We've never seen a species with this sensory ability you have.
It was common among my people, imparting experience through touch, the chemistry of life. Complicated ideas could be absorbed in seconds.
That sounds very useful.
We evolved as hunters. Reading 1,000 details in our environment ensured our survival.
I'm beginning to understand the beacons a bit more.
Later, we developed technology to harness our ability. Information could be stored in certain objects through touch. Memory has its own biomarker, its own chemistry, as do knowledge and skills. The beacons could remember these things.
Things like Reaper invasions.
Yes, I can still sense the turmoil in you, witnessing the extinction of our empire. The fabric of your being was forever marked that day.
So could you read something about this room?
There was liquid, a form of incubation. The DNA of a Krogan who lived here. He was powerful, prone to violence.
I'm impressed. His name was Grunt.
And if he were my enemy, I would have given him a wide berth. There is great strength in his genes.
Alright, I think that was all of them, yeah.
Thank you for talking with me. I never imagined actually meeting a Prothean.
This has been amusing.
Oh?
To discover the most primitive races of my time now rule the galaxy. The Asari, the humans, the Turians.
There's also the Solarians.
The lizard people evolved?
I believe they're amphibian.
They used to eat flies. Commander, you may count on me. I am known as Javik, though I still need time to recover. The shock has not worn off yet.
I understand. This must be a hell of an experience for you. We're just glad to have you aboard, Javik.
Alright. I am going to go to the top floor, or the CIC. Going to go into the Situation Room.
You see the Citadel? You've got new messages, Commander. You'd never know there was a war on.
You'll know soon enough. All those refugees have to go somewhere.
Alright, going to go to the Situation Room. Going to look at the war assets. Well, go to the war assets table. I'll actually look at it. And this will let me know where to pick up next episode. So that's going to be it for this episode. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to be kept up to date on future uploads.